Hi, my name's Phil. I like talking about politics, and in this video I'd like to discuss a new initiative on communicating climate facts in order to combat the organised disinformation which pervades debates and hampers good government policy. It's been kicked off in London today, and I'm there to take part in it. But first, for daily news and commentary, please hit the subscribe button to stay notified. So yes, essentially this is me saying that if there's been any major breaking news, I'm not covering it. So if, say, tomorrow lunchtime, you're wondering why I'm talking about China and the UK-US trade deal, instead of the story that Robert Jenrick has been reported running through the London Underground with his underpants on his head shouting, "It's all for you, Nigel," that's why. I am many miles away from the video making kit. I'm in London at the SXSW conference. I'm going to be in the news antennas bit where the focus is on messaging. We'll of course report back later in the week once I've recovered from being out of the house for more than a few hours. In fact, at the point this video comes out, I'll have been in London for over 24 hours and just sort of hoping that the werewolves haven't got me yet. I should be fine. I have checked. There's no full moon during my visit. But what is this new initiative? Well, it hasn't formally been unveiled yet. That is later this month. But the organisers are happy for us to talk about it, so I thought I'd schedule this video to come out at least after the first day. It's called News Antennas. It's organised by a group called Bellwethers, a not-for-profit group trying to get people together to coordinate action on greening the global economy. Now, this new project, News Antennas, is about, in their words, getting a global community of independent news commentators working to set a new standard for climate reporting beyond the traditional newsrooms. They're very aware a lot of people get their news from social media, something I've talked about a bit, and they want to make sure that we've got the resources needed to cover issues accurately and with confidence. So many long-term viewers of this channel will know that despite the fact it means I've got to spend 3 days in London, there was no way I was going to turn the invitation down. One of my big things, as you know, is harnessing the power of social media to present information, counter misinformation. If only more progressive organisations would see it. The evidence is everywhere. Like, there's an article in The Guardian this weekend about the potential fall of Orban in Hungary. It talks to the rise of Peter Magyar, who has successfully, wait for it, used social media to make a connection with the public. I'll tell you what it feels like when I see not just politicians, but political groups in general not using social media. It feels like I imagine some people viewed the early days of the First World War. The first time European powers had waged war on an enemy who also had mechanised weapons. Now, there had been a mechanised weapon versus mechanised weapon war, the American Civil War, but it was the first time European powers had done it, and yet they were still carrying out cavalry charges. It actually took a while to work out that horses don't do well against machine guns. You may have imagined this would be a lesson you would learn after your first cavalry charge, right? You would learn that lesson really quickly. You would be wrong. I see today in the same terms. Groups failing to use social media are like those cavalry units, and they can't work out why they're always being cut down. So I'm very excited about this project. It's absolutely the right way to go about pushing back against the wealthy, well-organised anti-green lobby. Could also be the model for better communications more broadly as well if it works out. But I'll talk more about it once I'm back, recovered, and I've got something to actually report, other than it's a thing I'm there taking part in. But there's something else new to the channel as well. As I was going to be away for a few days in London, having my social battery drained to hell, I thought I was going to have to queue up a load of videos in advance, right? Which I've done. So because I'd been thinking of doing some more in-depth videos on key topics, I thought, well, this will be a good opportunity, won't it? After all, I'll need videos that won't go out of date after a couple of days. So tomorrow, the second video is going to be the first of these videos. It's new for the channel. It's a 30-minute video for starters, so much longer than usual. But also, rather than the usual commentary, it's an attempt at a structured look at a particular issue. In the first case, it's going to be on our electoral system. I've got other topics planned as well. Now, videos like this, of course, take significantly more time. I don't imagine my first one tomorrow will be my best foot forward, and I should improve over time, especially with feedback. But you'll hopefully see these sort of videos are not quick to create. However, there are advantages to mixing in these sorts of videos with my daily commentary. A longer format allows me to look at an issue in much more detail, but of course I'll also have to be mindful of attention spans. No way I can just do a much longer version of my usual stuff. Another advantage is that because it takes so long to make, It's not exactly going to be breaking news. This means it can provide some more evergreen content for the channel as well, but mostly it'll give me a chance to go into some topics in much more depth. I have toyed with the idea of doing a series of more bite-sized videos in the past, but I couldn't convince myself it would be a good idea. Better to have it all in one video. The thumbnail will be very different to my usual style. It'll be a bespoke one for each one. Won't be using the normal format because these videos are designed to be standalone and may appeal to some viewers who would not find the daily commentary as interesting. We'll see. It'll be my general aim to do at least one of these a month. I spent about 2 weeks producing the one for tomorrow, but think I could do better with, like, you know, more practice and more time. Also, if I queue up several topics in advance, I figure it'll help me have more effective thinking time. I might have thought about a topic I'm not doing, you know, if I'm not doing it for 3 months' time, but I've created the file for it. I can just jot down ideas as I have them. That way I can, when it comes to begin properly, I've already got some points ready to anchor the rest of it on. Needless to say, the second one, as it will be out early July, will of course be on Labour's first year in power, but I do have other topics teed up as well for the coming months. So please keep an eye out for that one. And unless you have fundamental objections to watching half-hour political videos, let me know what you think. Should be back to normal on Wednesday. Now, if not, then the werewolves have actually got me. In which case, it'll probably be too late to send help, so just avenge me. But there we are. Those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments below. If you've enjoyed the video, please click the like button and subscribe for further content. If you'd like to support the channel further, you can click the join button for memberships. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'll see you later.